Today is Saturday, September 17th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our JABBIC Part 2 for Survivor 43.
JABBIC, judge a book by its cover. We heretofore absolve you all of judging these books by their covers. But this is part of our ritual, part of how we get ramped up for a new season of Survivor. We go in and we make surfacey judgments on how well we think each of these castaways is going to do.
Sometimes just off the picture and whether they smiled or they didn't, or
yeah, that's enough. And so we've done JABBIC Part 1, where Joanne and I go through and give our thoughts about each of the castaways and give some extra bio, so we go a little deeper there to save you scanning for all that information. And then this is Part 2. We turn it over to you, the super fans, and we got several folks who have made that commitment. They've dug in early. In some cases, they've just looked at a picture. And I think that's perfect because I love hearing everyone's, all the different takes. Sometimes
the variety.
Yeah, sometimes it comes from some of your own life experience. Maybe you know enough about the medical field to know that Gabler there's actually a salesperson. He's not actually a surgeon or anything like that, and you're all clued into that part of it.
Was it Justine I was ragging on about her pet peeve being people who were walking slowly right in front of her? Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that the other day, and I thought, why did I react so much to that? And I thought, because I'm walking with a cane, and I can't move very fast, and there's nothing I can do about it. If you around.
You read her pet peeve, and it became about you. That's classic.
I kind of think it did.
We all do that. Somehow she had a pet peeve. She resented your walking speed.
Well, I don't know that I like her. She seems entitled to me. And I thought, judgmental.
Yes. Well, that is a part of it, and it's not based on hardly any facts. It's just mostly a reaction, just like Joanne's. But the thing that's valuable for us is it helps us get more familiar with them. So that we can spot who's who, and when we're doing the recaps, it helps us maybe be a little more accurate, especially in the early part of the season. So we'll know. Back when we were just watching and enjoying and having fun, we didn't always know who was who in the beginning. It was a big challenge, and certainly with a lot of content like we're looking forward to here, it could be almost overwhelming to have 18 different individuals you're trying to keep track of over 2 hours.
And I won't remember everything about everyone, but I usually remember a little something,
Our main goal is to start recognizing them by name.
Yes.
Right. You'll test me, and I'll test
or by
you.
Sight.
Yeah.
Even. Like I said, it's different looking at their pictures, like on the roster, and then looking at them in the game.
And there have been seasons where there's some people who look somewhat alike.
That's true.
There's a long history, and it continues to this day, of casting certain stereotypes, or you can make it sound more academic and say archetypes, but there's definitely some specific stereotypes that they focused on over the past, and sometimes they would try to make sure that, like when there are two tribes, each tribe's got one of these, so. And it would be challenging because sometimes they would look very similar to each other.
Yeah, I don't know that the only two people that I think might be similar a little bit in looks in their out there clothes and the way they did their hair was Justine and Cassidy, maybe. Though Cassidy's got multicolored hair, so
she looks like she's in the roster. She's got blonde highlights, right? Or whatever you call that, where it's blonde on the end.
Well, I was trying to, we don't have up a picture of the actual tribe photos, and but those are the ones I was like, wait a minute, who was that? And it's like, oh yeah, okay. That's because I didn't have the same visual perception. And it was like, oh, I didn't know this person was that small or that big. You know, you get a different view of them looking at both sets.
All right, so here's the plan for this podcast episode. We're going to go through the super fans who sent in some feedback for JABBIC Part 2. We'll play their feedback, and we'll talk about it along the way, especially if it sparks anything for us. And then we'll do a little bit of a wrap-up. And then we've got a debt that needs to be paid in our fantasy league. We have what's called the side challenge. It's a small deal on the side. And if you're unfortunate enough to lose that, to have the least amount of points in that side challenge for the fantasy league.
You're lucky enough to lose it, and you get to perform.
For all of us, yes. There you go. Half full, half empty, however you want to look at it. The bottom line is we got a debt that's going to be paid today. Parker got his song in, so we're going to hear his parody song just before we wrap up. So hang on for that, or fast forward for it.
Right before the outro,
Yeah, just before the outro music, we'll play that. Anything else we need to say before we kick it off?
I do not believe so.
First up, we got a call from Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling here. Feels like forever since the end of May with season 42 when Mary Ann won, but I'm going to let out a great big woo! Woo! Survivor will be back in about one more week, man. Love that we have a 2-hour premiere and then an hour and a half. So a real quick cast assessment. Here we go. The blue team here. Gio, I think, is full of himself. Jay Jones could be a solid player, good in challenges, and likable socially. Ryan, I think, could be all right. A fashion merchandising, I'm on the fence with him. Cassidy is okay. She might be a little bit of a diva-ish to me. Kawa, I think, will be somewhat of a strategist, maybe a leader of a women's alliance. And Lindsay, the nurse practitioner there, or someone nursing, I think she'll be maybe the most likable on that team because she'll be the one to keep everything calm, working on the medical field, or if someone's hurt. Now, the yellow team here, Ellie, I like her story. She could make it far in the merge. Janine, I don't know. I think she might be a little full of herself, early boot. Mariah, I think it's going to be because of her looks. I love the hair, but I think that's going to be too much for her to handle there. She reminds me almost of her, what's her name, that girl? She almost looks like Gandhi for some reason from Thailand. Maybe because of the hair a little. The Rue look-alike, which is Owen, I think he might be a force in challenges. I'm hoping he's a much better strategist than Wu, but I'm skeptical of him. Mike Gabler, initially I thought he would be a big character, and he might make the merge like what Joanne says, but I'm with you, Stacy. I think he sticks out much. He's the oldest person, I think, on the tribe, so I don't think he'll make it too far either. And that leads me to Sammy, the 19-year-old, the youngest of the season. He could make the merge simply because he's going to be the strongest of the team and provide much, but then I think he'll be voted out early merge or mid-merge because he'll be seen as a threat. And I don't see him as much of a strategist. And then let's see, Varsity team. Let's see, Cody, I think is going to be a villain this season. Dwight might be under the radar. Jessie Lopez might be seen as too smart because she's a PhD. She better keep her mouth shut. Justine, I think, will be an early boot. And Noelle, love her story because of the thing with the leg, what happened with Kelly in Nicaragua and Chad and Vanuatu. But I don't know if she'll have sympathy or if they'll get rid of her soon. But I'm glad it's back, guys. I love that they got rid of some of those twists from 41 and 42, like the glass thing and that other thing that Lindsay won. It should be a good season, I hope. A solid cast. Can't wait for next week. Here we go. Woo!
Whoa, yeah. We're glad that the hourglass is gone and the I want to say shot in the dark, but it's do or die.
Do or die.
Yeah. Although the way Probe said it sounded like do or die might come back. But at least the turn back time, we're going to lie to you twist for now is gone. That's certainly a positive.
Yeah, I think they got enough reaction from the fans as well as the castaways.
Yeah, definitely got an earful.
Certainly
didn't
know Danny was extremely vocal about it before, during, and after.
Yeah. Yep. So I like how Probe said that he's listening to the fans after he started off
See,
41 and 42.
Yeah, post what you want. I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, I'm not listed. So
I was like, okay,
All right.
I'm sure he caught grief for that. So
good deal. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got a call from Robert.
Hey, Joanne, Stacy, and Survivor fans. This is Robert from Canada calling in with my official JABBIC predictions. I first just want to say how great it is to hear all of your voices again, and I'm excited and optimistic that we're going to get another great season of Survivor. But before I give my JABBIC predictions, going over the contestant bios, I couldn't help but notice the absence of Survivor contestants hailing from a certain northern region. What gives CBS? For JABBIC, I usually try to find players that I think are likable, hardworking, and who can perform decently in the challenges. My top 3 prospects for this season are Ellie, Justine, and Owen. I also like Lindsay. I think if she finds herself in the right alliance, she could do really well in the game. She's a bit older, but she looks to be in great shape. I'm leaning towards Ellie for my USB, but Tori's really soured my opinion on psychologists playing in the game of Survivor, so I might end up switching to Justine. I think it'll probably be a woman that wins the season again. That's my prediction for that. For my first vote off, I think it's going to be either Carla or NECA, depending on who goes to tribal council. I'm not sure either will fit well in their tribe or perform well enough in their challenge to make it far in the game. Cody seems kind of like a wild card to me. It's really hard to place how far he's going to go. Anyway, I'm excited to see where this season goes, and I can't wait to hear everyone else's predictions. And thanks, Joanne and Stacy, as well as Paul and Steve, for all the work that you guys do. This podcast is a constant in so many of our lives, just like Survivor, and I look forward to hearing from everyone. Until next time, take care.
Thanks, Robert. Dalton Ross just asked Probst, or they just posted the question where he asked Probst about the dominance of Canada and why he thought that was. So, yes, I too, like you, Robert, noticed that, and of course I'm quite relieved that we're going to get a break from the dominant force from the Great White North for a little bit. You know, Robert was saying he thought a woman was going to win. Do you think 26 days favors women? Because it's a shorter amount of time and maybe women are better at the social game that they can pick up quicker, and it might take guys a little longer to sort that out. You think that's a possibility? Since we've seen two women.
Always a possibility.
Okay. I guess I was essentially asking you how probable you thought it might be, but I know I'm hitting you cold with that. That was just based off what Robert said.
You're always constantly saying, "How did you know that?"
Right.
We're watching a movie. How did you know that? I didn't have a clue, and I'd be like, "Oh, come on, it was obvious."
Blah blah blah. Yes.
So I think that's kind of where you're coming from. Because you're always doing that.
It could just be me being slow. Yes. Well, you know what I've always thought is that I've got to find some good female alliance partners if I ever make it on the show, because I evidently have some pretty significant blind spots in that space, and I need that data. I could have told
you that, but I was being kind.
Yes. Well, I know that I would need that data, so I would. While I wouldn't have a specific plan going in, it definitely would hopefully include being able to align with some of the women so I could get a bead on some of that stuff.
You pick up on a lot of other things as well, so it would be good to have that balance.
My cues are threat-based kind of things and how people are reacting that way. But in terms of the social interactions, I don't always get up, and I can't always focus on it for very long before I have to step away.
Deeply instinctual for you.
Yeah.
Because even if I wake you up, I make sure I stand back. Because you can wake up out of a dead sleep, and your fist will be cocked, ready to punch.
It's too much night terrors. That's what that's from.
It's like, it's like touch the foot. Honey, you have a meeting. Get up.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the feedback. Thanks, Robert. Next up, we got an email from Josh, the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I was chilling on my deck, sipping an iced beverage and enjoying the last days of summer when I received a notification on my phone telling me that the JABBIC Part 1 episode was available for download. My reaction was that of the student who remembers their summer reading list a few days before school begins. Would you believe me if I said the moose ate my homework? They do eat twigs after all, and paper comes from twigs. Suffice it to say that I got surprised again and haven't done much homework. However, I still wanted to drop in and say hi and contribute a few general observations and bad dad jokes to the start of the season, to start the season off right. My observations, I'm really stoked that the producers nuked the hourglass and do or die twist. Contestants might be able to start believing what Jeff says again. There you go.
Sure.
I really dug the Madsumo outro. I looped it a few times so I could dance to it. We like Madsumo on the grill for this purpose exactly.
Yeah.
Since Jeff likes advantages and twists so much, I'd like to propose a new one, the EMP advantage. When activated at Tribal Council, it permanently depowers all other advantages and hidden idols in the vicinity. The electromagnetic pulse wipes them out, huh? I thought that Stacy had broken the hourglass at the end of JABBIC Part 1 when the feedback deadline he mentioned meant that submissions were already overdue. Oh, did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
Initially?
You said the 7th of September instead of the 17th.
Gotcha. Yes.
You missed
You caught it though,
one.
right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I hope the Baka tribe doesn't live down to the Japanese meaning of their name. It would be hard for them to compete in challenges while wearing clownishly oversized shoes. My USB pick is Cody. As an elevator salesman, he should be uniquely qualified to navigate the ups and downs of the game. Oh my goodness. Plus he's got living tattooed on his butt, so you know he's ready and good to go.
Yes, as he's told us over and over.
Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Good job. Next
You're
up.
having trouble talking again today.
Yeah. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and I'm super excited about the new season of Survivor 43. It's going to be awesome, hopefully. We know for sure there's no hourglass twist, so that's done. That's out of the way. Who cares? Hopefully the other dumb twists are gone. I know it's less days, but personally, I don't care. The number of days does not affect my enjoyment of Survivor. I feel good about this cast. Most of them, I don't know. I can see them going either way of being terrible or really good. There's this whole middle ground, but then I have like a top 4 that I really like, and then a bottom 2 that I don't know if they will go early, but God, I hope they do, because they just seem annoying already, which my lowest ranked person is Sammy. It just bugs me whenever there's a young player who's just dumb, because I'm young. I know people who are 19. One of the smartest people I know is 19. In fact, 2 of the smartest people I know are 19 years old. So I don't understand why we get a Sammy who's just like a dumb surfer dude. Like, I hate it. Like, there's so much potential in a young castaway. There's somebody who could actually win at 19, but instead you cast a Sammy. Like, I hate it so much. And then we have Gio, who I feel like he's first poop material. He seems annoying. He seems like he's not going to be very strong at challenges, and I can see him just being a weak link within his tribe and getting the boot first. Like, I feel like the writing is on the wall for him, which I'm sure he would love to prove me wrong, but I don't know. I might go with him as my first boot pick. But in terms of USB pick, I'm going with Owen. I love this guy. He's been compared to Malcolm, which I can totally see. He's super likable. He's a super fan. I think he's going to do really well strategically, socially, and physically. And I think he's going to be able to have a really well-rounded game, which is what you look for in a winner. And so I'm feeling good about Owen. Jesse, I really love. I like the gruff exterior, but then he's a family man. He's super sweet. I think he's going to be a really good strategist, so I'm excited for that. I like James, which I know isn't everybody's pick, but I think he's super entertaining. So I'm just looking forward to seeing him on my TV. I don't know how well he's going to do, but he's definitely somebody that I'm rooting for heading into the season. And then I really love Noelle. I think that she's going to be able to integrate herself within her tribe. I think she's actually going to be strong in the challenges and be a huge asset to the tribe physically. Not sure how strategic she's going to be, though, which is the only thing. But everybody, like I said, everybody else kind of falls into this like middle category, which like, I don't know. But for sure, Team Owen all the way. But yeah, excited to see what everybody else has to say. You'll hear me later on in this podcast. I apologize in advance. Sorry for your ears. You know, you can skip that part if you want. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.
Thanks, Parker. We are looking forward to you paying that debt.
He was like me. He liked Owen and Jesse too a lot. So
Yep, very much so. And it'll be like this at both ends of the age range, Parker. You will find that the stereotypes are more and more amplified at the young end and the older end.
But he relates more to the younger end. We relate more to the older end.
Sure, yeah. But they've been doing this to the people in their 50s, 60s that have played before. And you just remember, what was it, Survivor China and Chicken? The grumpy old man, get off my lawn. BB and the original one. They've just been recasting that curmudgeon, the grumpy old guy, over and over again. So you'll get to experience on both ends of the age range there. Thanks, Parker, and looking forward to that debt paid later. Next up, we got a call from Noelle.
Hi, everyone. It's Noelle calling from Albuquerque. I hope everybody had a great summer. And first off, I just want to say again, thank you so much for this podcast before I found it. I never used to be able to remember any survivors until it got close to the merge. And now that I'm doing all of this engagement before the show even starts, it's so much easier to remember all of the castaways. And it makes the beginning episodes so much more fun. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to start with the Baca tribe because I think they're going to be my favorite. I love Mariah and Janine and Ellie and Owen and even Sammy, who seems kind of like a goofball. And Gabler, I didn't feel like I got a good impression of how he is in real life from his bios and stuff. So I'll just have to see how he is on the show before I can figure out. But I like that tribe. The Vessi tribe, I feel like, has the most people that I'm wary of. So it'll be interesting to watch them. And of course, as soon as the show gets going, I'm probably going to change my opinion on everybody. It's so weird that there's a Noelle on the show. I'm so not used to other people having my name, and that is really going to distract me, I think. The Coco tribe, I like Lindsay. I like Cassidy, but there's something about her energy that is giving me first boot. And Carla feels like somebody I would have grown up with, as well as Jesse, but I'm very wary of Jesse. Okay, so those are my insights, my judge a book by its cover. I love Mariah. She's probably going to be my winner pick, not because I think she can win, but because she's just so captivating. There's just something about her. I just really love her, and I'm going to enjoy cheering for her. Also, again, really like Janine, Ellie, Owen. They're all in the same tribe. Maybe I'll just put them in my final four. I don't know, but it's going to be a fun season. I hope everybody else has fun. Can't wait to hear from all of you. Bye.
Thanks, Noelle.
And the Noelle on the show also spells her name exactly like you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is
Which
that.
Which is, that doesn't always happen.
In part one, I was talking about Mariah, and I was worried that she's just going to be too hot. I got the long hair. I'm experiencing what long hair's like in the hot summer. And as soon as we got done and I got the episode out, I was looking at pictures where the tribes were all together, and she's got her hair up in pigtails. It's like, no problem. They're just really colorful pigtails. So
you're like, oh, okay, well, never mind.
I won't be doing that. But I can see how it totally works.
I don't know, honey.
To cool
it might
her
be
off.
Cute on you.
No, thank you. Yeah, but she's got that sorted, so yeah, I think she's fine. Thanks, Noelle. Next up, we got an email from Jack in California.
Hello again, all you Survivor fans. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of research with these new castaways yet, But with looking at the tribe dynamics and how people look, here are some of my initial thoughts. I initially liked Cassidy, but I'm not sure how well she would do in the game itself. She might be quite a strategic player, but we shall see. I think because of the tribe dynamic on Baca, is it Baca? Mm-hmm. Okay. If they were to go to tribal first, then I feel like Mariah or Janine could possibly be the first ones out of that tribe. Gabler will probably make it to the merge. I think the strongest tribe this season could be the Vesey tribe. Other thought processes on the initial look at this cast is that it seems like they could all be good strategic players. Owen seems like the new beast mode of this season. Jesse will also probably do really well in challenges. I'll do some more type of research, including listening to both of these feedbacks before the episode airs, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this new cast plays out and hearing everyone else's initial thoughts of this new cast. Looking forward to getting this new season started. All right, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, welcome back, Jack. I was waiting to say that.
Okay, next up we have a call from Jeremiah.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy. Hello, Survivor fans. Jeremiah here with my JABBIC for season 43. Definitely wanted to make sure I get this in since I missed my final thoughts on 42, which I can't believe I did that. But, that season turned out to be pretty solid, and I was very happy with, of course, Marianne being our winner. And here we are with 43, another installment of this new version, this quicker version of Survivor. And I'm going to be very curious to see how this plays out because for the first time, as mentioned by just about everyone, these are players who have seen some of these tactics that the production has come up with. And so obviously now I know that, the producers are pivoting and going to be making some changes. But there is going to be some aspects that are still there. Obviously the shortened game. So I'm really going to be excited to see how these players make the adjustments and to see how they handle what is to come for them because this is a fast-paced game. It always has been, but it's extremely fast now. So looking at this cast, again, pretty well-rounded for the most part, nice and diverse cast again. There's a lot of players on here where I can see some potential. And, of course, there's some stinkers as well. But, one thing that I have found outside of looking back at 41 and 42, this 43 cast has really got me confused because I'm looking at them and I can't put my finger on who I really think is going to do well. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my best here. I actually had some more detailed notes I left in my office, and here I am sitting at my house trying to remember what I put down on those notes. But let me go ahead and at least give you, who I think is going to make the merge, who do I think is going to be the first boots, and at least who I'm leaning towards for Final Four and potential winner. Let's start with the Coco tribe. I agree. They're probably going to be the weakest tribe. Right now, I have Cassidy, James, and Ryan making the merge there. My two favorite coming from there is probably James and maybe Ryan. I don't know. On the Vesey tribe, probably going to be the strongest one. I do like Jesse and Justine the most from this tribe, along with Noelle. I think those three for sure will make the merge. On the yellow tribe, Baca, I have Owen, Sammy, and Ellie making the merge. Okay, if I have to pick a Final Four, let's go with Owen, Justine, who I think I botched her name earlier, James, and Noelle, I guess. That's be my Final Four right now. But of course, I'm sure my mind will change. I'm leaning towards Justine, though, for my USB at the moment. I'm sure that could potentially change as well. In danger to be going out first, obviously Gabler and Maria on the Baca tribe. Nanka, I guess it is, Vesey on the Vesey tribe, the Orange tribe. And probably either Lindsay or Carla would be our first out for Coco. Let's go with Carla for now for my first out pick. All right, well, that's it for me. You guys take care. Obviously, Stacy, yes, I can't wait to be in the side challenge. Mm-hmm. And this is Jeremiah from Southern California.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeremiah.
He's with you. He likes Justine, too.
Yep. Several people have mentioned that. Yep.
Well, like I said, maybe mine's a little judgmental.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California. And here are my JABBIC predictions for Survivor 43. Now, I haven't looked at a website, looked at a picture. I haven't even listened to the JABBIC show yet, so this is going to be me all alone, just going by the pictures. So on the Baka tribe, we've got Ellie. Ellie looks friendly. Her dark hair and overall features remind me of me, so I'm drawn to her. I think she might be a go-getter, and so maybe seen as abrasive or a threat early on. Gabler, not a fan on first glance, might be goofy and annoying. Janine is beautiful, maybe one to form a clique or an all-girls alliance that might alienate others. Mariah has fun hair. She looks like the youngest on the tribe, and so I think she may struggle from the start due to her youth. Owen looks laid back and like an intelligent surfer dude, if that's a stereotype. He looks non-threatening, so he may go far. Sammy looks fun. He looks kind of like the strong nerd. It's interesting to be photographed with glasses on. I wonder why they made that decision. It makes a statement. Maybe he'll have a bromance with Owen. Okay, on the Vesey tribe, looking at the 3 guys and the 3 girls, I feel like we're going to be divided along men and women lines here. I feel like the guys are all going to stick together and the girls are all going to stick together. Don't know why. But it's a good-looking group. I think Jesse might be an outlier on that tribe, though, just because he's not smiling in the pictures and everybody else has a really nice, friendly smile. Boy, I have to say, just right now, looking at the overall picture, this is a really good-looking group. I mean, if I had to just go by their pictures like I'm looking at, they're all going to do well, they're all going to make the merge, and they're all going to be at the final tribal council. You know, I was going to go one by one over the pictures, but I'm overwhelmed, so I'm just going to kind of cherry pick here and pick and choose. On Vesey, I think that Dwight, Justine, and Nika are going to be kind of the friendly ones of the group. There's a lot going on behind the eyes of Noelle and Jesse. I get a suspicious vibe from them. I think Cody's going to be seen as a threat early, and if they go to tribal council, I think they might want to get him out. On Coco Tribe, I get a good vibe from Lindsay, Cassidy, and Ryan's photos. James looks really friendly, but I'm wondering if he's going to be competitive. Gio and Carla, I think, are going to have trust issues with the group. I think that Baka is going to be the first tribe to go to tribal council, and that Gabler is going to be the first to go. I'm not even going to hazard a guess at who the final 3 might be, but I think Justine is going to be my USB. That's it for me. I am so excited to be back with everyone. I'm hopeful for season 43. I can't wait to listen to the JABBIC show and to this show and hear everyone's first impressions and predictions. As always, thank you, Joanne and Stacy, for providing us this forum to share our love of Survivor. And that's it for me till next week. Bye.
Thanks, Jen.
That's interesting that she got to Justine as a USB right off, just nothing more than the photo.
If she were from Canada, it would be done. So we'll see. And I like what she said. There's something that she was picking up in Jesse and Noelle's eyes. So I'll share something. When we were doing last season and the leaks were starting to come out about who was on the cast and stuff like that, I saw something about Noelle, and it was over on the Survivor subreddit, and someone was saying that they went to high school with her. I think there was a couple different people commenting on it. And I thought, well, I don't know if this is true or not, but they were saying that she wasn't a very nice person in high school. And that colored I wish I hadn't read it, because it colored my impression, and I hadn't been able to go over it. But now Jen says there's something going on behind her eyes that she picked up on. I don't know what that was, but I'm going to be interested to watch that. Yeah.
Well, and Jesse openly says he used to be with a gang, and then he, changed his life, and so maybe she's picking up on some. And I too, when he smiles, it's very different.
Yeah,
very different.
Fact that we didn't get a smile. I gotta assume they smile. Everybody smiles while they're taking these pics.
Well, it makes me think they take a bunch of different ones, and they chose to. But that again is giving us subtle messages.
Well, just like
where they want us to go with our thought,
right?
And we do. I follow it all the time.
Sure.
They put it out there, and I take the bait.
And they are split. men on the left and women on the right in the
Exactly.
roster.
But
So
it's because of alphabetically, that's how their
how it played
names
out in the
went.
tribe.
But you can't help but draw some conclusion.
Your mind automatically does
goes
that.
there, yeah. Oh, they're going to go men, women.
All right. Thanks, Jen. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul in Louisiana here, and it's great to be back, but I've got to say that my first impressions are sort of disappointing. Separating this cast down into a group of possible winners leaves me with, I think, only 2 choices. So, Ellie, seems nice. She'll last. She'll merge. Gabler, I think Sammy would agree with me when I say that Gabler is one odd-looking dude. Well, maybe I mean to say unique. But he'll be a merger only because he's a guy and because sexism works in your favor if you're a man. And then there's Janine. She looks very prissy. Is that sexist? And Mariah? Just way too colorful for me. She might be this season's Marianne, and lightning rarely strikes twice in the same place, so no merge. And Owen just grates on my nerves. Sorry, no win. Sammy, this self-proclaimed hotshot, is another player who's not on my list of winners, quads or not. Bless his heart. Cody. Oh, no. As in, no merge. Another nerve grater for me. Dwight? I just don't know. Let's pass for now. Let's get to Jesse, one of the few I actually like, and possibly, and probably, my USB. Justine. Now, I did not care for her picture, thinking she was just going to be too high maintenance, so I was firmly against her. But after watching all the videos that Stacy posted links to, you know what? I liked her. I like her enough to say that she's a second USB possibility. And then there's NECA. Again, glad I watched the videos because she came across completely different than I thought she'd be. I'm worried she's going to be stuffy. No merge and possibly even a first out. Now, Noelle, I like her, but there's absolutely no way they'll let her get to the end. They are really going to be skirting around the phrase pity vote when they consider voting her off. Lindsay, yeah, she's out of order, and I'm going to fix that after this JABBIC gets posted. But Stacy, you're right. I liked her. I forget what her embarrassing story was, but I'm pretty sure I like that also. I'm going to go out on a limb and say merge. And Cassidy is another no way for me. She's just too much, and yet another nerve grater. No merge? Possibly first out. Oh, but Gio. No way at all. His personality rubs me so wrong. He's got this weirdly off-putting energy and an overconfidence that's only matched by Sammy's and Cody's. Maybe he's first off on his tribe. What is it about this cast? Now James. Yeah, I'm going to pass on poor old James because he peaked when he was 11. And Carla, that nose ring is so distracting to me. It's the bling. And that's why Carla is another hard pass for me. Then there's Ryan, who reminds me of, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, Louis Gussman, the guy you see in every 4th movie I watch. He was in Boogie Nights and Journey 2, which I hate to admit that I've watched. Anyway, his weakness tells me that he won't go far. So top 3 for me are Jesse, Justine, and I don't know. Yeah, it's slim pickings here for me. Maybe 3rd is Lindsay? I know I'm wrong on many of these people, but I'm old, I'm cantankerous, and apparently I'm speaking my mind. So there you go. Oh, but I have to say that CBS has really dropped the ball here. Less than a week to go, and they still don't have a new cast posted. Yeah. I'm sick of clicking on the CBS Survivor cast and seeing Strunk's face grinning at me. Honestly, someone should be fired because that is... I don't even know what it is. You realize someone is most likely getting paid for not doing their job here. Okay, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm out of here. Everyone enjoy the show. Catch you next week. Bye.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, we're kind of scratching our heads on that, too. It's so late with the update there.
Yeah, the only person I've really changed my mind on a bit, I think even had her in my Final Four, is NECA.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know. As some of the other stuff has come out, I'm like, yeah, I might be wavering on that. But we'll see. I haven't really changed my mind about... I'm still leaning toward Jesse for my USB.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Such a great story.
Owen as
Same
a
with
backup,
Noelle, right?
But
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to favor Noelle, too. Fantastic story. It's going to be fun to cheer for.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's what matters most to me, that I just want to cheer for them, whether they get there or not. So it's not always about my score.
I feel validated. There's so many. Justine could win it here. I may have to do
you
that.
needed validation, honey. I'm
No,
sorry.
I didn't need it, but
get
I
enough
have it.
Validation.
That's
Poor
different,
baby.
right? And then people are waffling on Ellie. So I think she might have a much better skill set than Tori. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Ellie might do better than I initially thought.
Yeah.
I first thought she would, and then I thought, well, I don't know if she, but I'm kind of going back a little. That I think, yeah, she might could if she can get in with a good alliance. I just wasn't sure who that would be exactly on her tribe.
I think Janine may be Courtney size. She is tiny. When I saw her, like you said,
Oh, she's
relative
smaller than Courtney.
to her
At least
tribe?
Courtney was tall.
Was Courtney tall?
Yeah,
Courtney wasn't tall.
she is.
Her and Todd are both kind of short.
No, I think she's at least as tall as Todd and maybe a little taller.
Okay, but that's not saying anything.
Well,
But
she's not as short as Janine.
Is tiny.
I bet you.
Tiny, and she does look a little frail already before it started, before the hard times
That's
hit.
the thing. But like you said, sometimes people who do come in that small don't lose
Less
a lot
requirement.
because they don't need a lot.
Yeah, yep, that's true.
So
I gotta not lose sight of that.
That's just our way of thinking
Mm-hmm.
because we're big people.
Well, and that it's harder when they're not provided food and they're put in a geographic area that
Yes.
has been, that's overdone.
Yeah.
That people have fished and collected in to the point to where at this frequency, I don't know that it renews itself quick enough.
Well, it just makes me think of like Heidi in Amazon.
Oh yeah, how scary she got.
That was kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Then you start really worrying about the effect it's going to have on their long-term health, and which maybe it didn't have any. That's just
Well,
my
that's
way
another
of thinking.
benefit of 26 days. You can't
That's
do that
right.
much.
Well, you could, depending on what's going on with you. But anyway, these are the oldest person is what, 43 or something.
No, Gabler's in his 50s.
Oh, is he? So he's
Yeah.
the oldest.
Yes.
The 43-year-old was the oldest woman. I think it was Lindsay.
Lindsay and NECA are right. She's right close to Lindsay, I think.
NECA's, I think, 42.
Yeah.
Lindsay's 43. So he's the only one even in the 50s.
Correct.
It's a relatively younger
Yeah,
cast.
very
than
skewed, very
normal.
young. Yep.
So,
They should be fine.
yep.
Good deal.
Maybe that's why they're not doing, before. Look at Rudy. What was he in his 70s or something?
And one time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Well, the first time.
Oh, was he already in his 70s the first time?
I thought he was. I could be wrong on that, but I was thinking he was.
Yeah, but he was
like
so tough.
72 or something. Yeah, that's
He was
true. He was
a cut above.
exceptionally tough.
Yeah.
So, but still to go out there but they might be more conscious of that because of the 26 days, and they're not even giving them rice. So.
Yeah, they're still going to deny him the food, unfortunately.
That's a little too intense for me. They should have something where they can function in these challenges.
That's why the rewards can be super important, especially when they're food based. It's getting the gear,
true.
unless you're at the Jonathan skill level. Getting that fishing gear doesn't necessarily help a whole lot because
Yeah.
those areas tend to be fished out, and maybe he was the beneficiary of coming back from the COVID break, that he was able to get a little more, but we never see someone really thrive with providing that outside of someone with his skill set.
Well,
And it doesn't sound like we got someone like that in this season.
yeah, the lack of food could even be more detrimental to the bigger, more muscular people.
Certainly Ryan, yeah, he's probably he is the biggest
not just
guy,
the guys,
right?
but the girls too that are more muscular.
Okay, I'm struggling to see who that might be. They're all pretty petite. It seemed like.
I don't know either. But
Other than Noelle, she's an athlete, so
yeah, I
she's
think
probably
she's got
carrying some
muscles.
muscle mass. Okay,
Alrighty.
we want to thank everybody who took the time to send in your thoughts and predictions about the new season and the cast, and we'll be pondering that going forward as we wait for the premiere on Wednesday and make our final choices for the Fantasy League. Another important reason to start early.
Yep.
We also want to thank Christy, Erica, Hazel, and Kim for your continued subscription donations. We greatly appreciate that. That goes towards our operational cost, and that's so huge. Thank you so much.
Steve has the JSFL website ready to go for season 43. Thank you, Steve. And thanks to Paul for the beautiful logo for the website.
That turned out awesome.
Stacy will include links to the website as well as Paul's awesome roster, as always, in our show notes for the JABBIC Part 2, so you can get the links there. If you're new to JSFL and you need to register before the deadline of 7:30 p.m., 4:30 Pacific time on September 21st, in order to play this season, registration will then be closed for the season. Be sure to read the official rules listed on the website. And again, we do not have records of your passwords, so if you don't have it, you will need to re-register to play before that deadline as well. Everybody needs to select a USB 24, which is the person you think will win this season. You will earn a 24-point bonus if they do win. Be sure to hit the submit button. Your USB should show up in bold print on the picks page after you've entered it. You'll also need to choose who you think will be voted off first for a possible 2 points, and 4 people you think will still be in the game after the 2-hour episode ends. Again, hitting submit. If there are 2 people voted off, which we don't know what's going to happen, we will still only score the first person voted off.
All right, if you want to be in the side challenge with me, which means you're going to have to sing like we're about to hear Parker do. If you lose, we need you to send us an email before the first show airs on the East Coast, September 21st, like Joanne just said. So far, we got Cole, Mike, Jeremiah, Justin, Parker, and myself. Love to have some more folks. If you think you can stand the heat in the side challenge kitchen, shoot me an email. Let me know.
Too much stress.
Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com. Look forward to it.
All right, we're excited for the 2-hour premiere on Wednesday, and we'll be back with our recap at that time. We ready for Parker?
Yeah. Okay, here's Parker's parody from season 42, and the song that was chosen was How Do You Like Me Now by Toby Keith. So he's got a parody version of that references the events from season 42. Here we go. Take it away, Parker.
Yeah, I started as a crazy one, was a target on day one, and I worked the numbers on Taku Tribe. Mike was always a social one, the fireman, so everyone thought that he'd have this game on lock. No way he wouldn't win against old Marianne. They overlooked me somehow. At merge I had nothing to lose, so I played hard and did not back down. How do you like me now? How do you like me now? Now that I'm in the final three, you still think I'm crazy, but I'm sitting here today. You don't have to love me, but I made it still now. I'm winning $1 million prize, and how do you like me now?
All right. Good job, Parker. Excellent.
Get paid.
Yes, full and full. All right, anything else?
Nope, I think we've covered it. Now we just have to ponder everything that people said and figure out what our final picks will be and get them entered.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I almost forget to go do that because I'm busy doing other things. And so far I haven't totally forgotten, but I don't like to wait till the last minute, so I'll get it in.
I think you got enough to make your picks. You should go do that now.
No, I have thinking to do now.
Okay, that sounds good. Anything else?
Nope, we'll just see you back here on Wednesday.
Have a good one.